This is not just a photograph.
This is a frozen moment on April 30, 2018, at the Allianz Stadium in Turin, Italy, behind the Juventus goal, the Champions League quarter-final second leg, Real Madrid's White Kingdom facing its test against the Italian giant. The clock showed 20:45, and 41 507 pairs of eyes in the stadium were about to witness the most incredible thing they had ever seen. Even the journalist who took the photo had his breath taken away in that moment. Who knows if his hand trembled as he pressed the shutter? Ronaldo, at 33 years old in his career, in the middle of the opponent's pitch, in the heart of the Italian defense, was defying gravity. Italian photographer Dario Crespi was witnessing history in that very millisecond. The 64th minute of the match, while waiting for Carvajal's cross from the right wing, no one could have predicted such a thing would come. The Portuguese star jumped to a height of 2.38 meters, almost the height of a basketball hoop, his body completely horizontal, as if invisible hands were holding him in the air. The number 7 on his back was not just a number at that moment, it was a symbol of a legacy, a legend. But how did this moment come to be? Every great moment is the climax of a story. That evening, Ronaldo carried not just a Real Madrid jersey on his shoulders, but the weight of an entire season. They had won 3-0 in Madrid in the first leg, but Juventus was like an unconquered fortress at the Allianz Stadium. Italian fans were whistling, shouting at his every touch. Buffon was waiting in goal, legend against legend. When the match started, Ronaldo was quiet, with that familiar determination in his eyes. The first half ended goalless. While listening to Zidane's speech in the locker room, his eyes stared into space. What was going through his mind? Perhaps the thousands of goals he had scored in the past. Perhaps the dreams he had while chasing a ball through the streets of Madeira as a child. When the second half began, a different Ronaldo emerged onto the pitch. Every run had a purpose. Every movement carried a message. As the minutes progressed, the atmosphere of the stadium was changing. Something was going to happen. Everyone could feel it. When the 63rd minute arrived, Carvajal received the ball from the right wing. Ronaldo started running towards the penalty area. That run was like a summary of his entire career. Do historic moments announce themselves in advance? Some moments have the power to stop time. The cross from Carvajal's foot drew a perfect arc. As the ball glided through the air, Ronaldo's brain was making calculations in tenths of a second. Leg muscles tensed, heartbeat accelerated, eyes locked on the ball, and then he jumped. Chiellini and De Siglio froze. That moment suspended in the air was frozen by camera flashes. His body completely horizontal, his right leg like lightning from the sky, ready to intercept the ball, his left leg in balance. This was not just a movement, this was the crystallized form of years of training, discipline, pain, and triumph. Back muscles tense, neck muscles defined, hair scattered in the wind. Buffon remained motionless in his goal, because he knew no one could save this ball. The sound when it touched his foot shook the stadium, the net trembled, and 507 people, yes, even the opposing fans, stood up and applauded. Juventus fans applauded a goal scored against their own net, because that night they had witnessed art. Buffon hugged Ronaldo. Chiellini shook his head, smiling. This goal was the first of Real Madrid's 3-0 second-leg victory, and for Ronaldo, it was the first step on the road to the Juventus jersey he would wear a year later in Italy. Have you ever thought about how a goal could shape a transfer? Looking back, that goal was not just a goal. Real Madrid won the Champions League for the third consecutive time that season, and Ronaldo was the architect of this success. But that bicycle kick meant much more to him. At 33, an age when most footballers are in the final period of their careers, he had proven he could still push physical limits. This photograph became one of the most shared images in sports history. From walls to posters, from magazines to documentaries, everywhere there was that moment suspended in the air. A year later, in the summer of 2019, when Ronaldo transferred to Juventus, Italian fans remembered him with that goal. Perhaps that goal had planted a seed in the minds of Juventus management. We want this man on our team. For Ronaldo, this moment was not just an athletic achievement, it was the perfect fusion of art and sport. This was the message: I'm still here, I'm still the best, and age is just a number. Buffon later said even conceding that goal was a privilege. This goal, scored near the end of his Real Madrid career, was like a farewell gift, but also a herald of a new beginning. Those seconds he remained suspended in the air turned into eternity. The photograph was taken under the stadium lights, among lightly falling snowflakes. Every pixel told a story, every detail carried a legend's signature, and years later, when we look at this photograph, We still ask, how can the human body be programmed for such a perfect movement?